So Trump has been talking about going into Greenland for a while now. And at first it seemed like a joke, right? Like, okay, we're not going to invade Greenland. We're not going to take over Greenland, seize power of Greenland, take all of its resources, just snatch it away from Denmark. That sounds ridiculous, right? But with most things Trump, especially what he says he's going to do foreign policy-wise, you start to realize he's not kidding. He's about that action. Whatever he says he's probably going to do. We saw him capture Nicolas Maduro. We saw him strike Iran's nuclear facilities. We've seen him just do things, and then domestically, we've seen him send the military, the National Guard, into American cities. So what he says he's going to do, especially this term, he's typically going to do. And this Greenland thing seems real. I genuinely believe now that we are going to go into Greenland. I don't know if that's in the form of boots on the ground. Now he's enacting tariffs against Denmark, who owns Greenland right now. But we're going to do something. He's going to do something to get Greenland in the possession and control of the United States. And the folks on Fox News, like Sean Hannity, have so quickly jumped on the Greenland bandwagon, as they do with all things that Trump claims he's going to do. They're saying it's a great idea. So let's listen to what Sean Hannity has to say about the idea of us going into Greenland and in turn for snatching Greenland away from the people who live there and from Denmark's control, giving all of the citizens of Greenland $100,000. That's what Trump's promise has been thus far.
Donald Trump's forever in a state of negotiation. Everything's negotiable. $100,000 offer for every person in Greenland, and on average making $60,000 a year. The Denmark's not exactly been generous to them. They don't have the ability to help them take their natural resources to the next level and enrich every person in Greenland. We do. And after what they did to the Danish women, I don't know. What the Danish doctors did to women in Greenland, rather, I don't know. Seems like a no-brainer to me.
Seems like a no-brainer. Capturing Greenland, taking it away from Denmark, and in turn giving $100,000 to each citizen of Greenland. That seems like a no-brainer. I mean, these guys are such company men, and it's funny to see them go along with what Trump's saying he's going to do. Because if it was a traditional Republican in office, right? Like, let's say Mitt Romney was the president. That's, whatever, a corporate, traditional Republican. The things they would be going, they would go, tax cuts. Seems like a no-brainer to me. I think taxes are a little too high. And then you'd have to go, oh, well, okay, well, I guess tax cuts are good. But because it's Trump, the things he's promising to do are so insane that, these guys don't even realize how ridiculous they sound. Greenland, yeah, who doesn't want $100,000? These guys only make $60,000 a year in Greenland, so seems like a no-brainer to me. Just let the United States come in and take your land away from you by force. It's just so funny. And it's as this term continues on, as this second Trump term continues to exist, and we go further down this rabbit hole, because Trump's getting no pushback from Congress, and he's getting no pushback from these, mainstream corporate media hacks like Sean Hannity. He's the things that they're going to have to co-sign and act the things that they're going to have to act like are completely reasonable, no-brainers, as Sean Hannity said. They're going to get sillier and sillier. And this is the funniest one yet. $100,000, yeah, seems like a no-brainer to me. How quickly these people have flipped from being America first, no new wars, stop, no more money to foreign countries, blah, blah, blah. Enough of the old imperialism neocon crap. Now, look, was Sean Hannity ever saying that? Probably not. However, that is the platform Trump ran on. How many times no new wars, we're going to stop sending all this money overseas. We're going to keep it here. We're going to be America first. We're going to look out for Americans. And then cut to a year and a half later, he's like, Greenland sounds good. I think we'd like Greenland. The people of Greenland, will give them money. We'll make their lives better. Greenland's great. We love things that are green. And so, by the way, what initially, and still, I think a lot of the reason that Trump wants to go into Greenland is because of their natural resources. They have large oil reserves. They have rare earth metals there that could be, they have resources that are beneficial to the elite class in the United States, which is who Trump primarily serves, right? So we go into Venezuela. We want to seize control of their oil reserves. That will benefit oil tycoons, the elite members of the fuel industry class. And these rare earth metals, they'll benefit tech companies. These are metals that are used to build, iPhones, MacBooks, stuff like that. These resources are beneficial to the folks at the top, right? So initially, I thought, okay, that's the obvious reason he wants to go into Greenland. And look, it still might be, but Trump is now saying that one of the reasons that he wants to go into Greenland is because he wasn't given the Nobel Peace Prize. So look at this. This is from BNO News Live. It says, Trump sent message to Norway's prime minister saying he no longer feels an obligation to think purely of peace because he didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize. Trump said it's time NATO does something for the U.S. and gives up full control of Greenland, according to PBS. Message of Trump to Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre. Dear Jonas, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus, all caps, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Denmark cannot protect that land from Russia and China, and why do they have a right of ownership anyway? There are no written documents. It's only that a boat landed there hundreds of years ago, but we had boats landing there also. I have done more for NATO than any person since its founding, and now NATO should do something for the United States. The world is not secure unless we have total and complete total control of Greenland. Thank you, President DJT. Now, here is Trump talking again about the Nobel Peace Prize. We'll watch it.
No, should have gotten the Nobel Prize for each war, but I don't say that. I say millions and millions of people. And don't let anyone tell you that Norway doesn't control the shots, okay? It's in Norway. Norway controls the shots. They'll say, we have nothing to do with it. It's a joke. They've lost such prestige. That's why I have such respect for Maria doing what she did. She said, I don't deserve the Nobel Prize. He does. When she got it, they said, wow, that's amazing. I thought.
I mean, this is like, I've been so fascinated by how lately Trump has been saying the quiet part out loud. It's unbelievable. I mean, the man has never been known to show restraint, but lately, I mean, just like, there'll be like a day where everyone's like, I think we're just going into Venezuela for oil. And he's like, we're going in for oil, that's why. It's because we want the oil, that's why. And now you're like, you hear these rumblings. You hear like this thing from BNO News that like he sent this message to Norway's prime minister being like, oh, you should give me Greenland. NATO should give me Greenland because you didn't give me the Nobel Peace Prize. Then he's doing a press conference at the White House. He's like, they didn't give me the Nobel Peace Prize. And Maria said I should have the prize. So the whole thing's a joke. I should be given it. I've stopped so many wars. Like, you just start to realize that's the other thing is that like a lot of these crazy decisions that we're making foreign policy wise are just fueled by Trump's ego. Like a lot of this is just, he didn't get an award. Someone disrespected him. They've never been nice to me. Like that's the reason he's gone after people in the press. You know, they've said very nasty things about me. And like, you start to realize like it is that simple. And sometimes you got to take the man at his word. He's just telling you that this is why I want Greenland, basically, because they didn't give me the Nobel Peace Prize. And then we look back to what we watched earlier with Sean Hannity. These hacks are being like, well, I think that it'd be, seems like a no-brainer to me, $100,000. It's like the guy wants to start a military conflict with Denmark, whom we've never had issues with because he didn't get some silly award, the Nobel Peace Prize. It's unbelievable, dude. So now we'll look at this. This is from Newswire. This is Denmark deploying troops to defend Greenland from the U.S. So we'll watch this.
Yes, jagt. Velkommen til.
This is, I think it's Polymarket. This says odds of U.S. invading Greenland this year are 11%. I would. I'd take that bet. I think that might be free money. Again, I'm at the point where I just believe this guy. Whatever Trump says he's going to do, he's going to do. So I don't know. That sounds like free money to me. And look, it is something that Denmark is deploying troops to defend Greenland from the U.S. They're clearly worried about it. That shows you that maybe the odds should be higher than 11% on Polymarket. But look, if we want to do something there, if we want Greenland, we're going to take Greenland. Now it'll come at a massive cost to our relationships with other countries, but Trump seems hell-bent on it taking an axe to all those relationships anyways. Like, he seems to have no interest in keeping the peace with the other countries in NATO and keeping relationships with our allies good and maintaining a good trade rapport. No, he seems to just want to do what he wants to do. And again, if we go into Greenland, like, Denmark's not going to be able to stop us. We have the biggest military in the world. That's the thing. It's like, he could do any of these things. I mean, he can go into Venezuela, capture Maduro, have him in New York City that night getting charged in a New York City courtroom. So, like, we can do these things. We have the military capability to do almost anything we want globally. We have the biggest military. We've been overfunding it for years, in my estimation. But, like, look, Denmark wouldn't be doing this if they're not worried. And you see the writing on the wall with the Hannitys talking about it, with Trump saying the quiet part out loud, about the fact that the Nobel Peace Prize and him not getting it has something to do with his plan, you could maybe call it, to go into Greenland, to seize Greenland from Denmark. So I don't know, man. If I was a betting man, I would take those odds on Polymarket. I would take those odds. And I think you're going to see more of these political hacks, these mainstream media, Fox News political hacks like Sean Hannity, buttering up the American public and priming them, getting them a little lubed up for this move to go into Greenland. So, hey, if you don't like where you're living, maybe you'll be able to get an apartment in Greenland soon because it might be part of the U.S.